So now in this video, I want to talk about the white collar professionals. So the white collar professionals are the tenant type that I focus on. And there are, again, many different type of white collar professionals. So you've got doctors, you've got solicitors, you have, surgeons, you have pilots. So anyone who has the way I like to define white collar professional is anyone who needs to work more than 4 years to gain their qualification or and their career and what they're doing for their work. So more than four years, blue collar professionals can do 4 years worth of studying in order to do like electrician and things like that. But 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, that's generally only the white collar. So now these types of people are very, very different. One of the positives about them is that they are very, very focused on their work and on their life and on their future. Okay, so they're very focused. That means that they're not going to get distracted with all of the things that we don't want, such as partying, such as uncleanliness, such as being noisy and disturbing neighbors, such as getting drunk. All these types of things. You won't have these issues with the white collar professionals. It's quite rare. So why? Because they're fully focused on what they're doing. They just want to get on with their either their studies or their because they might be gaining that next level qualification, So yes, white collar professionals can become students as well, but this is a very different type of student. They are working as well as studying. So that's one thing about them. Many of them are working and studying, so they're not really students. It's more study at work as well. So the they're very focused. They've got their life. You could say in this way, they've got their head screwed on. So if they've got their head screwed on, it means they know what they want. Then they're not here to mess about. They will pay their rent on time, and they'll pay their, if they have any bills, they'll pay that. They're happy to clean. They're happy to have a cleaner and to pay for a cleaner. They're happy to pay more. This is one of the biggest benefits. They're happy to pay higher rents, but if you're going to charge them a higher rent, they are going to want higher service. So they're less likely to fall behind on rents because their rent is going to be small in comparison to their income. Let's say their income is around £4,000 a month. If their income is £4,000 a month, then their rent 700, 750, 800, something like this. That's not even a quarter of their income. And remember, the rent for them is all bills included. So they have this huge financial gap, freedom gap of 3,000 plus that they can spend on something else or save up. So every white collar isn't always earning that much. They could be earning less. They could be in the beginning of their white collar stages, which is the tenant type that I actually do focus on. They're at the beginning of those stages, and they're already white collar, but they're still beginning. So it's very niche. There's lots of niches. Now the downside is that you have to give a service. They're not just coming for a room. You have to give some sort of service if you want them, because in everything else that they purchase, that they do, which is, everything else that they purchase, they get some sort of service with it. Yeah. So they're going to want a service from you. Now, what service you give, that is something you have to think about. And I can do another video to talk about the types of services, but I'm going to just share with you this principle, and you can use this principle. The principle is that give them what is easy for you to give, but very, very, very valuable for them. Okay? Very easy for you to give, but very valuable. If you look at my example in how I'm helping you now, this is very easy knowledge for me to give, but yeah, it's very valuable for you. So I'm giving that. I can sit here, I can record this, and I can give this information, but it's very valuable for you, but very easy for me. And that's all you need to do. Every single service that you give needs to fulfill that criteria. As soon as it's difficult for you to give, that should be something you don't give. So for example, airport pickups. I don't want to do airport pickups because it means 20 minutes there, 20 minutes back, plus some charges at the airport. I'm looking around. So one service I give is I pay for your taxi fare from the airport to the house. And where do I pay it from? Their rent. That I pay from their rent. So think about that. What can I give that's easy for me, but very, very hard for them? I'll say that again. Very easy for me, very valuable for them. Okay. So that's white collar professionals, some of the pros and some of the cons.